Hi and welcome. This is Serena, and this is going to be a quick and dirty how-to video to use LinkedIn. I am not claiming to be an expert by any means, but this is just from somebody who has used it from a self-promotion point of view, and I think that's the best way to be using LinkedIn. You're probably wondering what LinkedIn is just to begin with, and the best way I can describe it is a professional Facebook. On Facebook all the time, you'll see people share images of their babies and their vacations and their favorite recipes, news articles, just a whole lot of different things. But is that something that's necessary to your job? No. Is it necessary for anything? No. But it really enhances your life and makes things really interesting and just more fulfilling, especially to keep in touch with people long distance. When it comes to LinkedIn, it's more focused on your career and your industry and how can you move yourself forward for your job. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about what I know in terms of LinkedIn. And so here is my homepage. When you come to LinkedIn, you are going to register just when you go to your home or when you go to the LinkedIn website, and then you're going to have some kind of news feed. Just like a lot of other websites, it's going to be self-populated by whoever you're connected with, as well as companies you are following. What's also fun about LinkedIn is that you can follow certain individuals and see what kind of posts they have to have as well. So to start, I'm going to go to my profile just so you can see what I have. Up at the top, this is my background. If you are familiar with Facebook, it's similar to a cover photo. Mine is just a piece of artwork that I absolutely fell in love with. It's from an artist based out of Boston, and this is a photo or a painting of the Boston skyline. And so when you see what I'm doing is I'm simply moving the picture around to have it centered. So we'll just save that. And for your background, if you want to change it though, you can click on change. You can upload it from different places on your computer, what have you. For your photo, you can use headshots, you can use anything you like. I really strongly recommend that you use photos that are clean and professional looking. This is a headshot I had taken last summer, and I used it so it's cropped on my head so it looks nice and clean. When you're on your website for LinkedIn, you can really edit and do anything and everything on the website, which is really cool. Anytime you see a pencil, that means it's something that you can edit. So the first thing you can see here, I can edit my name, Serena Christensen, former name. If I have a maiden name, or maybe you change your last name or something like that. When it comes to LinkedIn, the best reason to use LinkedIn is because it's a personal branding tool, and this is how you want to be known to the public. This is how you want to be known to your contacts and potential clients and customers. Something that people don't necessarily take example of is the headline. The default headline that LinkedIn will put in is your most recent job title at your organization. However, that's really boring. That's not something that you necessarily want to be known for. So I really encourage you to come up with something that's a little bit that's edgy, that's memorable, if anything, but memorable in a positive way. So on mine, I have it where it's enthusiastic, sensible, and passionate. When it comes to your next location, you can choose where you're at based on your zip code. And so I have it, I put in 8801, and it has me decide between Williston, North Dakota and the Bismarck, North Dakota area. I chose Williston. And then your industry, and there's tons and tons of different options that you can choose between. And just because my experience primarily has been marketing and advertising, I've kept it as that. For your current experience is going to come from your jobs, which we'll get to below. Same with your previous, and your education, which you'll enter in later. Every profile you'll see, you're going to see the number of connections. So when you think of Facebook, you have friends. When you have Instagram, you have followers. Twitter, you have followers. On here, on LinkedIn, it's called a connection. And as you can see, I have over 500 as well. And you can see my profile strength, I'm an all-star. When you're working on your profile, something that not many people know is that you can actually edit, you can actually edit what your LinkedIn website is, how people can get to know you. So let's just say that I give this link to someone else. This is going to be the page that pulls up. So they see my headshot, they see my headline, my location, my industry, my experience, summary, all these things that are they're really nice and convenient. It's nice to be able to give yourself sort of a digital resume like that. And the way you can edit it is when you click on that pencil, it brings you over here, your public profile URL. Talks about enhancing your personal brand. So you can just click on that and change the context that is after linkedin.com/in/. So mine, I simply have Serena Christensen, and you can change that whenever you want. It's actually pretty neat, I think, to have it like that. So going back to the edit form, on here, it's asking me, a lot of times it'll prompt you up here if it feels like your profile's incomplete. It's asking me if I belong to any professional organizations or associations. And I guess I haven't put this on here, so let's do American Marketing Association because I'm a member of that. Nope, I did not have a leadership role. When were you a part of it? I started in December of 2011. It was ongoing. Have you taken any courses in school or independently? And I'm just going to skip that because that's going to become a lot of work. But what's nice about LinkedIn is that it's constantly asking you, have you kept your staff up to date? You can add, if you have a certain language that, as it says here, help you find a new job, get a promotion or transfer. Any organizations that you can be a part of. Adding honors, test scores, courses, patents, specific posts if you wanted to write a blog or what have you, or even a publication, you can add. Your summary, you can basically put anything or everything you want. My recommendation on this is to keep it in the present tense and how you write. Keep it something that's easy, active tense, easy to read. So mine, you can see here, dynamic, ambitious, and results-driven business professional with proven leadership, communication, and program development expertise. I'm going to zoom this in so you guys can see this better. Eager to contribute, a passion for service, business development, and so on and so on. These are my specialties that I have. I've also posted some links. So this is my TED Talk that I delivered a year and a half ago. And then I actually have my own website. So if you click on this, it's because it's in the edit phase. Normally, if you click on it, it'll bring you right to it. So when you start your profile, it's going to show that there's no experience whatsoever. And so you simply do add a position, and you can start typing. And I don't think, Select Ford does not have a profile on LinkedIn. So you're not going to see that. But if I start typing Williston, it has its own profile as well. So I'll just keep it like that. And your title, I'll just do cashier, location. And that might be if there are multiple locations for your company. So that's always a good thing to have on here, your time period. And then for your description, what I recommend, honestly, is whatever you have in your resume. Looking at this pop-out, it talks about some ways to explain what you do, and this just gives some samples of that. I've just literally taken things from my resume, copied and pasted. And I don't know why mine likes to say as a Williston State College logo. But let's see if it'll fix it now. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with my profile. But I have my title, Customer Relations Manager, Select Ford Williston, the time frame, and then active tense for all of my duties. Next, I have motivational speaker, which I'm independent. Talking about how I've spoken. And I actually need to update those. Provided training to Halliburton. Provided training for Halliburton's low and mid level managers, and then a featured speaker at Level Up 2015, hosted by Williston Area Chamber. So this is good. It's forcing me to update my own as well. Under each job, there is, if you've ever received a recommendation, it's going to pop up down here, and we'll talk about recommendations in just a moment. But you can see this here that I've received 3 recommendations based on my public speaking. And under here, I've also provided a link for this as well. This, I need to change and instructor. This is for my job with K. Michael Lee Studio, my dance studio that my sister and I founded together. And this is a link for an interview that I did on KUMB. Group fitness instructor, so on and so forth. My job with Wilson State College, you can see I've received 7 recommendations there. I received 1 recommendation when I worked for Mercy Medical Center, 1 from Gladstone Inn, 1 from Jamestown, another 1 from the North Dakota Department of Commerce. So that's just adding positions there as well. This next one is if you are adding projects. So this 2 Feet in a Heartbeat is a project that I helped Leanne. I was just simply helping her with her marketing on this, and she consulted with me on how do you start a business, what's the way to go about it, and so I helped her with that. And you can see here is that headline for myself, and then you can see Leanne's serving mankind every way possible, which pretty interesting, and it grabs your attention. You can add volunteer experience. So here you can see my experience when it comes to Rotary International, and Rotary has its own page. So anytime you see an image to the side, that means that it has a page on it. So that's my experience with Rotary. Opportunities you're looking for. I put joining a nonprofit board, skills-based, pro bono consulting, causes you care about. You can pick out of a list what you're really interested in with that, and then which organizations you support you can type in for that as well, which is a nice way to connect with people. If you have any certifications, you can put that here. So this shows my certification as a trainer as well as being a Zumba instructor. Something to really leverage when it comes to LinkedIn is the idea of getting endorsements. And so the first way to do it is to add a skill. And it talks about right here how manage how endorsements work for you. I'm going to skip that. You can add you can start typing skills. So maybe I'll do sales, and you'll see that it populates it, and it might be a certain type of skill that you have. And then once you've typed it, it'll add it. And as it notes here, the most you can have is 50, and I've put 50 on here already. You can drag and reorder them. Once you start getting endorsements, it's going to automatically sort them by number. So if you look at mine, my top 10, I think this is 3, 6, 9, 10. Yep. These are my top 10 skills, meaning that people have endorsed me. So I've been endorsed for public speaking 57 times, event planning 55, leadership development 49, leadership 45, social networking, so on and so forth. So that's the skills section, and let's see. We'll talk about endorsements later. I'm just going to continue through this profile. You can add your education. So first, when you do your education, you can type in your school, or you can do your dates attended, or if you're going to graduate soon, your expected year, your level of education it is, your field, your grade, if you're a part of any organizations, and then any other notes for this as well. So on this, it does it, and this whole thing about LinkedIn, it does it in chronological order. So since I completed my MBA sooner, or most recently, that shows here, whereas my bachelor's shows here. I'd asked for 1 recommendation, and this is from Elizabeth Barker, she was my marketing instructor. My time at Jamestown College, which is now the University of Jamestown, I received 4 recommendations. as well. Let's go back. Oh, well, we're fine. Okay. I haven't edited it in a while, so excuse me that I'm kind of going along with this at the same time. My interests, I put my interests here. And you don't have to do that, but that's to just make it a little bit more personal. How you can contact me, and I put right on here how you can reach me with my cell phone or my email, my birth date. Any organizations, and so I put a member of the marketing association, and this is a new thing. That's okay. Before it was simply you type out what you've been a part of. So now I really need to actually go through and type out each of these individually. Honors and awards, if you received specific things, they've changed this as well. So now it's from a certain organization. And let's say it was a part of a job that you had. And so you can see here my experience, and I can say when I was a customer relations manager at Select Forward, I received this award from X organization. This is how I was nominated, you know, whatever it may be. So when it comes to your recommendations, this, like I said, this is a really, really big tool for you. I recommend at least having one per each position, or at least the big positions, because everyone's going to have a lot of just random jobs that they've had. But you want the ones that stand out, the ones that matter to you. So I have received recommendations, and you can ask to be recommended. So you click on that. Right now I have 49 recommendations that I have sent to people, and you can ask them what position you are asking to be recommended for. So this is when you can see like getting recommendations from previous teachers. So if you're a student or whatever job you have. So I'll just do Select Forward. Who do I want to ask? So you can bring up as many people as you can think of. So the first one I could think of was Tom Ralsted, and it says 3 people. Once you choose a person, what's your relationship? Report directly. You managed this person, was senior to you, worked with him in the same different company, client of yours, was your teacher, was your mentor, you were students together. They give you a pre-generated message that you can use, but you don't have to for that. And then you can go ahead and send it. I guess I've been asked from these 2 individuals to be recommended as well. So this is something that I can look at later. Otherwise, here are my received ones. Oh, I guess I deleted the position for this, so let's reassign this one to, there we go, public speaker. Looking at your positions, you can see what positions you have received recommendations for, which ones you haven't. And I've always tried to keep it ones that I truly care about. What was fun is if you look down here at Jamestown College, Mort was my advisor, and he was also one of my professors, and so I asked him for a recommendation. But then Nathan and Matt, they were students of mine, and so I asked them for, as well as Aaron, we were all students together. And the reason I did that, sort of that 360 approach, you want to have people that you've either worked with on the same level, someone that supervised you, and then maybe if you've supervised someone, have them recommend you. So that's a really good way to show more personality to your profile. When you click on profile, you can click on who viewed your profile. And so in the last 90 days, my profile has been viewed 94 times. You can see just the timeline from this. 14 viewers found me from people who are similar to me, and that's a feature on here. I'll show you in a sec. And then 2 of them, it'll find commonalities between them. So 2 of them worked at the University of Jamestown, and then 6 of them had the title of a business or corporate strategist. And so I wonder why. Oh, there we go. March 1 to now. 4 projected views this week. 0 have taken action. So let's look. The previous week. Let's just look at that. I'm not entirely sure. I think the action means that they've either clicked on my profile or sent me a message or something like that. I guess I'm not entirely sure what that means. But then you can do how you rank for profile views. Among my connections, I'm in the top 10%. I'm number 58 out of 600, so that's a good sign. I've only dropped 1% in the last 7 days. So among my connections, the most viewed ones, James Worsham, John Carpenter, Jacqueline Johnson Lester, Adam Clifford, Troy White, all of that kind of stuff you can see. There are 75 people I'm connected with through Wilson State College, over 4,000 from Anytime Fitness, and even professionals like me. It shows how that goes. And so looking out of my connections, like I said, 58, I'm number 2 out of my connections at Wilson State, so that's kind of fun. Anytime, I'm number 83. Oh, nice. I haven't looked at this in a while. I always forget about LinkedIn, so this is good for me to come in and look at. Connections. Okay, so you click on that. And so you can see who you are connected with in some way. What's fun is that anytime someone adds a new job to their website, it's going to show either they have a new job, or even if they're having a work anniversary. So Cassandra Seaton, she has 3 years as an independent something. Whereas Chris Raymond, he was the past president, so he added that in there. So whenever you're searching for profiles, you're going to see something like this, like that first. That means that they are first connection. And so it's sort of like the whole 6 degrees of separation kind of thing. If they're someone that has connected with you and you know them and you have like befriended them on LinkedIn, that means that you are first. Whereas let's have, I'm just going to click on Brad just for fun. Okay. He works with Prairie Business Magazine. On the right-hand side are people who also work at Prairie Business Magazine, and then people who viewed Brad also looked at these people. So you can see here he's a first connection for me. Let's do Steven. I don't know Steven. So it's going to say he's a third connection for me because he is connected through Brad, which means he's a third connection. You can add connections. You can do it through people you already know and import contacts. I feel like I did that right when I started, but I haven't done it in a while. So you can do that. You can also find alumni from schools. So people that went to Grand Canyon, I can connect with them that way. And then, I wonder, let's see. I'm not seeing anything for University of Jamestown, but that's okay. So that's what's going on with that. So, oh, I moved the screen. Let me fix that. Sorry, you guys. This recording is kind of all over the place. Okay, so something unique about LinkedIn as opposed to Facebook is that you can actually find jobs on here, and they base it off of careers that you might be interested. So you can search by job title, keywords, or company names. I have chosen to follow Domino's as a company, and I can find careers on here. And Domino's actually has a really big presence on LinkedIn, so I think they're really interesting to watch. They tend to have fun posts. But speaking of following a company, let's just pick one to follow. I'll do Disney. So when I type in Disney, it's always going to show people, companies, showcase pages, and then groups. So looking under companies, let's do, we'll do the television group. You'll see that there are over 96,000 people following it. So I'm going to click follow. So now in my newsfeed, whenever Disney ABC Television Group posts something, I will find out about it, which is pretty interesting. I remember, I don't remember what company I'd followed, but it was when Taken 2, I think, that film with Liam Neeson in it, when it was being released. He had created a promotional video that was only released on LinkedIn, that you had to follow the company, and then it was a drawing for him. Oh, that's okay. I got it. It was for him to create a personal recommendation for your profile page on LinkedIn. So for you to enter in the contest, you had to follow the company, and then you had to comment on the post and see if you won. I didn't win, but that would have been really, that would have been really neat to have him recommend me. So when it comes to your posts, would your grandma approve that my litmus test, I think, would definitely apply here. But you have to remember, these are people that you are connecting with professionally. So make sure it makes sense for what you're posting. So I'll just show you a sample of some stuff I've posted. Anytime it is that you've chosen to follow someone that's going to post in the newsfeed, updating your profile. So since I updated it within the past couple minutes, it's going to show. But one I did earlier today was this photo from my friend Mark Lindquist. It says, "Are you lonely, working on your own, hate making decisions, hold a meeting. You can see people, feel important, draw flowcharts, impress your colleagues, all on company time. Meetings, the practical alternative to work." So that's a pretty fun image that I used, and I said thank you, and I tagged Mark in it for sharing. I'm definitely someone who finds myself laughing a lot throughout the day, so I wanted to pass this on to you as well, and Mark had liked it. I liked an article that my friend Jason had wrote on here. I've liked statuses. It'll show you things that you've liked, articles you've posted. I recently shared one. It was a 31 attention-grabbing cover letter examples, and they literally were just interesting. They were really, really cool. And the reason you're going to post things on here is just to build your brand. And so an example of what I was doing was a couple weeks ago, 27 days ago to be exact, is when I went to actually Mark's speech. He's a public speaker. He spoke at the National Heart Spring Week show, and I talked about how I was amazed at his ability to connect and inspire, and what I took away from it, and how I was very blessed by the whole thing, and it got me thinking. So when it says followers, that means I have 604 people that are following me, or people that are connected to me as well. So you can see on here, a lot of these are people that that default headline is what their current title is. So here are some of those connections. You can connect with people as well through interests. You can look by companies and see what certain organizations have posted. You can do it by groups. The Pulse, which is an app you can put on your phone, and these are news and insights you need to know based on really famous public individuals, people who are noted in their industry. I think the Pulse is really cool, and it's just based on what you feel like you would be interested in based on your profile. So in filling out your profile is super important. And then you can look at education. And so this is where you can find universities, field of study explorer, even a decision board of how am I going to choose what school I want to do, what have you. When it comes to LinkedIn, everything I've shown you is under the free version. I've always used the free version, but you can bump up to premium, where it says landing your dream job. So your profile just stands out a bit more. Helps you grow your network, unlock sales opportunities, and then find and hire your talent. So let's see. I want to try it. Let's do my dream job. So they have different ways of what LinkedIn Premium can do for you, and it's $30 a month, free for 30 days, cancel anytime. I've never done it, but I know some people who have. So it is something to consider. There are private messages on here that you're going to get of people connecting with you. And it just works like any other message system, but it's called InMail, simply because of LinkedIn. This flag is your notifications. And so you can see people who commented on a post that you like, people who have liked things, people that you're following if they've posted something. Brian Woods recently endorsed me for public speaking, and he did that yesterday. Serena Weeks endorsed me for 2 skills 2 days ago. So it's fun to see those as well. And this person with the plus sign is a connection people you may know. So I do know Amy Kruger. Huh. I'm going to click on that little circle, and the invitation to Amy Kruger was sent. So looking at my accounts and settings, you can choose if you wanted to upgrade your account, if you have any jobs you want to post, manage a company page, change your language, look at your privacy settings, and help center. When I was with Ames, I created the Ames Engineering and Development Services profile, and I was the one who created this graphic for it. I really didn't get a chance to work with it all that much, actually, because I literally created it, and I think it was right when I was laid off. It was like a week later, so I didn't get much time to really get moving on it. But here are some people that are connected to me because now they saw what we did on here. And so if you look on the right side, there's always going to be recommendations for things to do and to connect with. So looking at Moo, let's just look here. This actually is a neat company. I've used some of their products, and so it brought me to their website. They're a printing company, and so it's just looking at it based on what you've done, and it's like, hey, you should check out this site. And because of my marketing experience, you were saying you should connect with Moo. So that's LinkedIn. I think my best recommendation is to have a really nice profile picture, something that makes you look professional and clean. Don't have anything where you're just you're in a bar or a selfie you took in your bathroom. You want it to be nice and clean. Make sure you have looked, spell check, proofread everything, that your posts are really relevant to your industry and your job. And I think also too, I just want to speak about the power of LinkedIn. When I was with Ames Engineering, I remember I received a message from an individual, and he was from California. And he said he was a developer, and he talked about whenever he traveled, he went onto LinkedIn first, and he wanted to find people involved in Rotary. He was a Rotarian, and so he knew he was coming up to Williston to explore what was happening out here, and he found me. And excuse me, he sent me a message, and he said, hey, I'm coming up to Williston, can I meet with you? I think it'd be really great just to chat. And I said that'd be wonderful. And so since I was with an engineering agency, which also did a lot with project development, I brought him in. And so, excuse me, we visited and we spoke with one another, and turns out that ended up becoming a business connection as well. So instead of him simply meeting me because of being involved in Rotary, we actually were able to establish a relationship far beyond that. I have two more testimonies when it comes to the power of LinkedIn. And so if you go to my page, and we'll just do, oops, I don't want to do let's just do my public profile. So you're on my page, and you can see all these things I've done. You'll see my link to LinkedIn, or to TEDx, my TED Talk. And people often ask me, how in the world did I become a TED speaker? It was because of LinkedIn. It literally was. I happened to be on LinkedIn one day, and this was when I wasn't really using it all that much. I'd logged in, and I was on my newsfeed. Whoops, we'll click here. I was on my newsfeed, and I don't remember what organization it was, but there was one, I want to say it was like the North Dakota Tourism Group, had posted saying, TEDx Minot is looking for speakers, call for speakers. And so I just choose, excuse me, I just chose to go for it, and I did. And so I commented on it, and I said, hey, I'm really interested in speaking. This is what I've done. I don't know if I'm qualified, but here, check out my profile. They contacted me back. We did a phone interview, and then boom, I became a TED speaker. So simply because of what I saw on LinkedIn. It was nothing I ever saw on Facebook. So small world with that. My third testimony is how I have met many business people through LinkedIn, and it's so fun because recently I met one, and it was a marketing friend of mine, and we've become friends in the sense that when we were speaking on the phone, he said, Serena, simply through your LinkedIn profile, I feel like I know so much about you. And he was asking me questions on things he saw from my LinkedIn profile, which was, it made the conversation a lot easier instead of breaking the ice and tell me about yourself. You know, I didn't have to do any of that. He knew who I was, and he saw that through my profile, which at the end of the day, it makes things really nice, and it helps establish that true connection. When you're on your profile, this is my last bit for you. You can choose who you want to view your profile as. This is what it looks like to connections of mine. So it stands out a little bit more because I have that background photo. And then I can choose what it looks like to the public. So if you're not connected with me, you don't get to see everything. It looks kind of boring, not all that fun. But if you're a connection of mine, it just looks a little bit fancier. You get links to my websites, and it just looks a little bit jazzed up. What I think is also really neat is if you're in a, whoopsies. Oh, let's do edit my profile. Is if you're on here and you need a resume in a hurry. You just need it in a hurry. You can ask to be recommended, choose it in another language, whatever. You can save your profile to a PDF. And so you can see it down here, just automatically save it. Now, here is my experience on a PDF. So it makes a really just a fast resume for you. It shows my skills and my expertise, my honors, awards, all that. And then it starts my recommendations, showing my 21 recommendations that I've received from the individuals, their positions, and how they knew me. And then it includes a live hyperlink of how to actually meet with me. So I've shown that to people. I think it's a really interesting tool to use, and it's something you can send to people. If you've ever wanted to create your profile in a different language, you could. Just depending on what you need. So let's go back to edit my profile. That is my summary on what LinkedIn is all about. I think it's a really great tool to use professionally. You can upload photos of cars that have been selling, upload photos of the staff. You can share articles that are relevant to the car industry. Sharing quotes even from Henry Ford. It's all about establishing yourself and how you want to be known and what you want people to know you for. And so for myself, I want to be known as enthusiastic, sensible, and passionate. So I'm always sharing things that I feel like really enforce and enhance that brand. And if you ever have questions on LinkedIn, please let me know. I'd love to help you out.